got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems, I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone and affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems, I solve them. I run through them.
Welcome to another episode of the Problems on Problems podcast. I am your host, Mike Santi, and I never know how to start these things. You would think by episode 8 we would know how to start these, but we don't. So we move on. Happy Friday. This should be releasing on a Friday. For anybody that doesn't watch this on a Friday, though, like, maybe we won't say Happy Friday. Well, we'll say Happy Friday or whatever day of the week you're watching this. If anything, look forward to Fridays. And happy fall, guys. I don't know how to explain this, but these past couple days, weeks, whatever you want to talk about, is, I don't know, one of the many seasons that North Carolina experiences. And when I say many, I don't mean your typical, like, 4-season kind of thing. I mean, number one, our temperatures finally dropped down out of the 80s and 90s and stuff like that, and we're getting down into, like, the 60s, the 50s, where I've spent long enough in North Carolina that, well, my blood's thinning out. This former Yankee, can't really sustain the cold anymore, because as soon as it gets to like 50, 60 degrees, your boy's we're putting on pants, we're putting on hoodies, long sleeves. I almost busted out a jacket. Now, not anything heavy, but for the fit. But yeah, it is insane right now. And I mean, just like that, just like the temperatures dropping drastically, suddenly, they're going right back up, where this weekend it is going to be a high of 82, I think. I don't know. I'm not a weatherman. It's like supposed to be high 80s, low 60s, where if you've been in North Carolina for long enough, and you've probably seen the memes. I'll put it in right now. The 13 seasons of North Carolina, because you've got, if we start off on a calendar year, you've got winter. After winter, you have the full spring. After the full spring, you have second winter. Now, let's talk about these. Full spring is that weekend, basically a weekend, where temperatures just bump up, that you think, oh, winter's done. It's not cold anymore. We can go back to living our normal lives. No, not the case. That's only going to be there for about a week or two before it goes right back down to cold-ass temperatures and bitter winds and yada, yada. You know the deal. Then you get second winter. Then you get the spring of deception, which is a little bit longer than full spring, but it still isn't there yet. But with full spring is like a weekend, spring of deception might be 2 to 3 weeks. Maybe. They could be interchangeable, but it's really just, we're duping you. Then you get third winter, which is very short. Third winter, it might be like a week long. You might see a storm roll in kind of thing, but nothing too crazy. After third winter, you get the pollinating. And I can only speak from my experience. I've lived in 3 cities around North Carolina, and they all do the same exact thing, where as soon as real spring is about to start, I've never seen so much pollen in my life. Like, we're talking, first of all, number one, who warned anybody about this? For people that have grown up in North Carolina, you need to warn out-of-state people about this. This isn't something that you warn them when it happens. Please warn us before it happens, because number one, Mike has never had allergies before until moving down south, and they're all pollen-induced allergies, which makes things extra special during the pollinating, because Mike suffers from sinus infections, or he's easily prone to sinus infections. So all I need is just a day or two of congestion before, boop, everything hurts. Everything's congested. I'm a balloon. I can't breathe. Which, I mean, first of all, I don't know where I was going with that one. But yeah, I can't breathe. Everything hurts. Sometimes I get a fever. It's awful. But now I've gotten used to it so much to the point that as soon as I get any kind of sniffles or anything like that, hit up the doctor, let them know sinus infection is coming, get some prescriptions, and we're good to go. But I digress. But yeah, the pollinating, please warn people about the pollinating, because we're talking about like sheets and sheets of pollen where it does not matter how often you wash your car or anything like that during the pollinating. It's going to be coated in a sheet of yellow dust as soon as you wake up the next morning. And it happens for a few weeks. After the pollinating, you have mud season. Mud season is usually when it's all rain all the time, can't escape it. And sometimes there's some, well, based off of where you are, there's some melting from snowfall and stuff like that. But yeah, mud season is basically, northern people, you know this. Mud season is that season where like snow starts melting and everything just looks like, everything just looks crappy and brown. But yeah, that's mud season. Then you got actual spring. Actual spring is great. Actual spring is awesome. I enjoy the crap out of actual spring, minus the occasional shower. And actual spring doesn't last that long because we got to go right into summer. Summer, I say this as gently, as lovingly as possible. Summer in North Carolina only lasts about, the idea of summer only lasts for about a few weeks, maybe a month tops. Because after that, when you hit July, you get to Hell's Front Porch. Hell's Front Porch it's basically Satan's butthole, where it is hot, it is muggy. I say all that stuff. Never been to Satan's butthole, but I can only imagine it would be like this. I don't know where this is going anymore. But yeah, it is that thing where for some reason it does not matter unless you're going into the mountains. I should probably go into the mountains. Every city that I've lived in North Carolina, those cities being Raleigh, Greensboro, and Charlotte, they're all super humid. Like, yeah, walking into a sauna is the closest thing I could walking into a sauna is the closest comparison that I can draw to living in North Carolina in the summer, where the air is so thick from the humidity that it doesn't matter what you're doing. Glasses fog up as soon as you walk outside. The air is so thick that you could literally just like eat the air kind of thing. It's miserable. And the only reprieve that you get from Hell's Front Porch summer is when the false fall happens, which is where we are right now. And you should see by this little infographic that yes, you are in false fall, where we had a weekend of beautiful, nice breezy weather. Like you could walk outside and you could go for a run and you wouldn't get that hot or sweaty. You can go outside in jeans or pants. You could throw on a hoodie. It was such a nice time. I got a little cold at night because Mike didn't bring a jacket. Mom, I know. Yeah, there's your one win. I didn't bring a jacket when I knew it was going to be like 40 degrees outside, and I got a little cold. But you know what? We ain't got the Rona, so we're good. But yeah, so false fall comes and goes. Then you get hit with second summer, which is basically what this weekend is going to be, where we get back to high in the 80s. There's a little bit of lows in the 60s. We'll see. It's not even supposed to get that low. And then you get actual fall, which honestly, false fall and actual fall are probably my favorite seasons in North Carolina because Mike likes layers. If you... Some of you might be surprised by the fact that watching the intro, watching previous episodes and stuff like that, that I continue to slim down. And I'm starting to think that it's because of fall, in the sense that you can't be a thick boy and wear that many layers, or you can't be as thick as I was wearing layers kind of thing, where you got to slim down a little bit so that when you start putting these layers on top of each other, you don't look like the Michelin Man. Michelin Star Man. Michelin Star Man? That's restaurants. Michelin Man. You know what I meant. The Michelin Man. But yeah, so I love fall. I love layers. It's one of those things where, and also I love not being hot. still thick, guys. So it's going to happen. Like, I walk for more than 10 minutes and I'm already getting a little sweaty, little toasty kind of thing. Shoot, I sit in front of this camera for some undisclosed amount of time, and by minute 10, 15, I'm a sweaty boy. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. We're not going to cut it, but yeah, it gets real, which is why when the fall comes, Mike does so well in the fall. I do so well in the fall, and I just can't be any happier about it. But also on top of that, I don't really know. I'm not sure how to say this, but for my basic people out there, you realize that fall brings on something very special, and that is pumpkin spice everything. Jesus Christ. I can't think of how many pumpkin spice things there are out there, but I'm newly converted to the pumpkin spice life, in the sense that in my 29 years of existence here, I've only existed 29 years. I haven't existed anywhere else, kind of thing. But yeah, in my 29 years of existence, I've only really started coming around to the pumpkin spice game probably, this might be like year 2 or 3. And honestly, I don't know what I've been doing for all those years prior to. This thing is delicious. Like, you got the cinnamon, you got the pumpkin. It's just, oh man, yeah. I'm slightly basic, and that's why I like fall. But think about it, guys. This giant, sometimes orange, gourd. Is a pumpkin a gourd? Maybe not. Maybe it's just a pumpkin. But this root vegetable, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be cursing. But yeah, this thing that grows on the ground. This orange thing sometimes that grows on the ground that I only left or used for fall festive decorations could possibly taste this good with sugar and cinnamon and more sugar and some weird, like, I don't know, other flavors. I'm new. Rookie season, maybe. I'm still in my rookie contract of pumpkin spice, but golly, is that thing good. And it smells delicious. You can already bet your ass that I have a pumpkin spice candle lit right now. Sorry. Actually, no, I'm not sorry. Part of you guys watching this is to understand the inner workings of Mike, and sometimes the inner workings of Mike are slightly basic. I will say there is nothing less threatening than a grown man drinking a pumpkin spice. Like, you know, that look, no one's getting threatened by that look. You can't you can't be tough with that look. But yeah, so I ramble on to basically tell you guys, number 1, happy fall. I hope you guys enjoy it, kind of thing. But number 2, don't get used to it, because you still have the rest of the 13 seasons of North Carolina this year. But yeah, hopefully we get through this second summer fast so that we can go back to actual fall. And I was about to entice you guys and say I might pull out like different outfits or whatever. It's the hoodie life. I'm not sitting in front of a camera for more than 10 minutes in something uncomfortable. Plus, the hoodies make me deceptively thinner looking. I don't even know. It might not even be deceptive anymore. But yeah. And it could also be just this wild, crazy rant where it's drawn on by sleep deprivation. Today's episode is sponsored by sleep deprivation and procrastination, because I don't know. Apparently, we'll talk about that on a different episode. We'll talk about why Mike procrastinates, why you might be procrastinating. But we ain't talking about it today. We're going to push that off to another episode in true procrastination fashion. But yes, we are going to, Mike, just me. I'm going to take a quick break, flip everything over, and when we come back, we'll do the POP gang things that you already know we always do. Hit that segue.
P.O.P. Hold it down.
And I'm back. And as soon as I do that, that's not a loud car that time. That's a helicopter. I forgot. Joe Biden's in town. Yeah. Listen, we're not turning this into a political podcast. Make sure you go vote. Do your thing. Do your part. Make your voice heard. But yeah, so I guess he can't still be in town. Like, you don't have that much time. But who knows? Helicopter activity been lit. On the bright side, because of helicopter activity, there haven't been loud cars, but now there are loud helicopters. So maybe, am I just living out every sequel of the Fast and Furious? Like, what's happening right now? What's going on? Just move to a different location, Mike. You'll be fine. But it would not be a Problems on Problems episode without our next segments to wrap up our... What is this? It's a show, right? Existential crisis. Anyways, moving on. It wouldn't be a Friday, or it wouldn't be a Problems on Problems episode without our Friday follows. And these come as and we'll probably continue this. I'll continue this out. Not like because it's specifically for Hispanic Heritage Month or anything like that. Side note, hey guys, happy Hispanic Heritage Month. Runs from September 15th to October 15th, highlighting all things Hispanic culture, Hispanic heritage. For those of you that don't know, let's save that for later. I'll tell you parts of me. One part of Mike, because, human chameleon, pool boy himself. One part of Mike is Dominican. And because we're going to cut this out in parts kind of thing, you just know Mike's Dominican. That Plátano power, you know what I'm talking about. But yes, it is Hispanic Heritage Month. Being Hispanic is a part of who I am. I know, you couldn't tell. But because of that, I will spend the rest of Hispanic Heritage Month highlighting Hispanic businesses in Charlotte, Hispanic creatives, individuals, things like that. And with that, on this week's Friday Follows, the business that we're going to highlight this week is Suarez Bakery. They are a Cuban-based store, bakery, food store, whatever you want to call it, that they currently have 2 locations in Charlotte. They have a Park Road location and an Optimus Hall location where you can find Cuban-based pastries, sandwiches. They got rice bowls now. They are up in the game, but golly, those donuts. Those donuts are so freaking good. I might have one on the episode next week. We'll see how that goes, kind of thing. But yes, Suarez Bakery, been killing the game in Charlotte. Definitely check them out at one of their locations, whether that be at Park Road. And I'll put the addresses somewhere. We'll say here, lower, higher, to the right. We'll put them here because normally there's nothing over here by my face. But yeah, Suarez Bakery, check them out. Enjoy it. If you gain weight from it, don't blame me. I'm telling you right now, the food is delicious. But like everything in life, if you overdo it, it's not going to be that healthy for you. So, tread carefully. The individual that we're going to highlight this week. This is a week. Those happen in the year. The individual that we're going to highlight this week is my man, DJ JuanG. The dude, what more can I say about the man? He's of Colombian descent. Been doing bits in Charlotte, been killing the game. Some of you may have known him from a previous venture where he was DJ Crossfade, which is fine. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But, occasionally we go through some regrowth, some rebranding. We go through here. But the dude is killing bits. He actually by the time you see this, it won't be but I'll link a new mix that he just put out earlier on in the week, or this current week. But I'll link the mix that he put on. But yeah, the dude is hashtag doing bits. Okay, so make sure you give him a follow at dj.juang. But yeah, that wraps up our Friday follows, which brings us to my third favorite. Who really knows? This is what happens when you stay up till 3 a.m. editing other videos, and then you're sleep deprived and you can't think straight. I said it. It's fine. We learn. Procrastination is not a good thing, people. Not a good thing, ladies and gentlemen. Be prepared. Do stuff ahead of time. That way this doesn't happen to you. But we are getting into the Friday food debate. Eventually, I'm going to have to change that because I feel like we're going to run out of food things, start talking about songs, start talking about movies, debating whatever. But because it's Hispanic Heritage Month, we're going to do some Hispanic food debates. And this week, there it is. Finally. Okay, I got it. Thank you for hanging on with me. This week, I should tell you what happened last week. Good job. Let's rewind real quick. Last week, we asked you how you ate your corn. Do you eat it around or across? And 67% of you said that you eat it across. I agree with you. And like I said last week, up until I had this conversation with someone, I didn't know that there's a different way to eat corn. I thought everyone and their mother if you're going to eat it on the cob, that you just did, your little typewriter action. And that's not the case. So what's the math on that? 33%? 33% of you eat it around. Which I'm still so confused by that. Why? Anyways, if you're an adult, just stop eating corn on the cob. Just get it off the cob. Cut it off. Cut the corn off. Whatever. Unless you're eating any elote. But I prefer esquites anyways. Next week's Friday food debate. We'll talk about that later. But yes, so last week, corn, how you eat it. Eating around versus across, 67% ate it across. And as my brain slowly starts to descend into chaos, we will continue to this week's Friday food debate, which is, what's the better Hispanic dessert? Is it churros? I fudged up. Is it churros? Or is it tres leches cake? I don't know. I like them both. Actually, you know what? The Caribbean side of me is leaning more towards tres leches cake because, golly, that is so good. But I'll have both, especially with a churro, if you put a little chocolate on top. And you wonder why you gained weight, Mike. That's life. But yes, so with that, guys, that's it for our episode this week. Ooh, announcements. Let's do that. For anybody that's still here in the episode, announcement-wise, I messed up again and didn't leave you guys a divorce Q&A part 2. I'll get on it. We'll do better. I'll leave that out there. Be on the lookout for the questionable content, Problems on Problems, Cribs episode, that collab, which is hilarious because as a founder / co-founder of both of these things or entities, it's real easy for me to do collabs, but we move on. But yeah, be on the lookout for that kind of thing. But yeah, guys, with that, we bring this episode to a close. Don't forget to follow at Problems on Problems podcast on Instagram, at Problems_pod on Twitter. Don't forget to follow me at MikeSanty18 on all social medias, guys. And I said it again, medias. Don't forget to follow me at MikeSanty18 on all social media. And yeah, that's basically it, guys. So, like always, if it's not a good time, hope that it's a good story. And I will see you guys next week.
Check out problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. A phone in affection, I summon and dub it.